Locked and unsafe. The ABC 15 investigators obtaining more than 1,600 pages detailing broken locks and assaults at Arizona's prisons. Things like maintenance records, internal government communications, and security memos. ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blazia is walking through the big takeaways.
We first started asking for these records nearly 4 months ago, but they were not released until after Corrections Director Charles Ryan announced his retirement.
You're about to see an assault erupt.
ABC 15 investigator Dave Biscobine in April aired leaked videos showing Lewis Prison and how broken locks allowed inmates to exit their cells at will and swarm attack corrections officers.
We have repinned the doors and we have redirected staff to secure inmates who have managed to tamper with the locks. They have been placed in pods that are, if you will, tamper-proof. And that has slowed down or greatly prevented the tampering and removal of the pins.
Are you sure about that?
As the Department of Corrections scrambled to check their facts, they confirmed to each other through emails 1,675 lock repair requests had been made at Lewis Prison since July 2018. Open work order reports show in page after page, 163 pages total, that months went by without things getting fixed as more bloody beatings of corrections officers occurred. They also show many trap doors like these were never fixed, letting inmates set fires almost daily. Director Ryan, aware of the problems enough to replace the wardens at Lewis Prison and inspect the first set of padlocks installed on cells in January. But there's a huge disconnect. Why didn't the department get the funding for repairs? And why wasn't it in the governor's or legislator's budget?
What is going on in the Department of Corrections is just unconscionable.
In the days after our investigation, outraged people jammed Governor Doug Ducey's email box. At least 800 messages urging him to fire Chuck Ryan, saying, "How do you sleep at night, Governor Ducey, knowing how horrible Arizona prisons are? The state of Arizona needs you to take responsibility for the countless lives at risk and show what you are made of." But the governor ignored these calls and said his staff worked with the prison's PR team, asking for something to brag about, a listing of top accomplishments in the prisons, as much positive stuff as they can provide. Ducey then left the director in charge for months, and even now defends Ryan.
I'm not piling on. This is someone who has served the public for 40 years. He's got an announced retirement date, and we're going to move on from there.
But as the governor moves on, a new liability may be rising up from this 2015 memo between 3 of Ryan's top administrators. It's an analysis after inmates popped their locks in a Tucson prison and attacked Sergeant Armando Salazar. It's something Salazar's attorneys have never even seen.
They know what they're hiding. They know what they didn't do.
The internal memo recommended complete a statewide survey of all facilities to determine the existence of locking mechanisms that are susceptible or have a history of being defeated, evaluate and determine alternate locking mechanisms, and begin systematic and scheduled replacement of locks.
But I think what we're going to find is they either didn't do it because they didn't want the answers, or they did it, found the answers, and didn't fix it. And I'm not sure which is worse.
In an email this week, ADC does say that an additional review was made of doors and locks, and door pins were installed in some places as an alternate locking mechanism. However, they admit that was not enough and that they are now working diligently to make things safer. I'm investigator Melissa Blazia, ABC 15 Arizona.